The last two tools that we're going to look at are the Paint Bucket and the Eyedropper tools. I'm going to delete this image because I don't need it anymore, and I'm going to add a couple more rectangles onto my artboard. To make it more evident how this works, I'm also going to change the color of these rectangles in the Properties Inspector. Now my red rectangle is the only selected element. The paint bucket is used to click on non-selected elements and transfer all of the properties from the selected element to whatever elements I click on. So I'm going to choose the paint bucket tool now, and while the red rectangle is selected, any element that I click on will turn red. I'm going to undo that. The eyedropper works in the opposite direction. Whatever element is currently selected will take on the properties of whatever I select. So now while the red box is selected, clicking on the yellow box will take the properties of the yellow rectangle and move them to the red. As I click on each of the other elements, its properties are moved in the same way. In this case, I'm only using the fill property, but the eyedropper and paint bucket can also modify the stroke property. I can change the color as well as the stroke thickness. And you'll see that those tools will apply all of those to the child elements. The eyedropper and the paint bucket are similar to resources, although keep in mind when you use the eyedropper and paint bucket, there's no connection established, so if I then go back to modify any of my elements, those changes will not be moved to the children, where with a resource they would. And that's it for geometry editing.